In this video, I'm going to be decoding the secret of testosterone production. I'm going to show you the exact steps how testosterone is produced within the body. If you don't know who I am, I personally help men master testosterone optimization righteously. When I started testosterone optimization, the biggest mistake I made was that I fell for the shiny objects. I would fall for the supplementation, for the word tactics, for these training styles, whatever it is to boost my testosterone levels. I did not understand the fundamental behind testosterone optimization. And because right now I do understand the fundamental behind testosterone, how it's produced within the body, I have a clear of mind. I have the confidence of the right plan because I know exactly what to do, because I have principles rather than depending on tactics which change on a monthly basis depending on what the market is trying to push you. When you understand the foundation, you can create your own tactics based on your lifestyle, based on your likings and things like that. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how that's going to happen within your body. So first of all, starting with Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. A lot of people lack knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and that's why you are where you are. Let's say you take someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you take all of his muscle from him. It will take him such a quicker time to get to his peak state, not because of hard work and discipline, but because of wisdom and knowledge and understanding behind how to do it exactly. Testosterone is primarily produced in the testicles. So you have your two balls, that's where your testosterone is produced. Some people have one, but they're produced in the testicles, 95% specifically. And within the testicles, specifically in the Leydig cells, so there's specific cells within the testicles which are located within the testicles. So the process of testosterone production, known as steroidogenesis, involves several steps. So steroid, which means steroid hormones that are produced from cholesterol, genesis, creation, right? So number one, so when it comes to all these steps, I'm going to be diving deep specifically into one to give you an understanding, right? So number one, hypothalamus signaling. So it signals the brain release a hormone called GnRH in a pulse state manner, right? So that's step number one. Then it stimulates the pituitary gland, specifically the anterior pituitary gland, so the front, also located in the brain, to release two hormones, luteinizing hormone and FSH. So then LH travels through the bloodstream to the testes to bind to receptors on the Leydig cells, stimulating to produce testosterone. As you can see, it stimulates FSH as well. FSH stimulates steroid cells within the testicles, and that's what produces sperm within the testicles, right? That's why when you're injecting testosterone within your body, I'm going to be talking about the feedback loops. When you're injecting testosterone, you're stopping this entire process because your body no longer is signaling GnRH. So it's not signaling LH or FSH. So now that's why testosterone can cause infertility. You can't have kids. So that's one of the dangers. And I'm going to get into other dangers further down. So then LH, luteinizing hormone, travels through the bloodstream to the testes and binds to receptors, the Leydig cells, stimulating them to produce testosterone. The next, number four, cholesterol conversion. So inside the Leydig cells, cholesterol acts as the precursor, specifically LDL cholesterol molecule, for testosterone synthesis creation. LH stimulates enzymes in the Leydig cells to convert cholesterol into a compound called pregnenolone. I've mentioned this compound many times. So then number five, pregnenolone is then converted into a series of intermediate molecules through various enzymatic reactions, eventually leading to the production of testosterone. So when it comes to pregnenolone, this is how it works. So fundamentally, how pregnenolone is produced within the body is your body has LDL cholesterol, vitamin A, and thyroid hormone, the active form of thyroid. So for this to even occur, you need T3. And this is why I talk a lot about what is your temperature, what is your heart rate. Because you can do all the tests in the world, you can do all the blood work, you can do everything you want. I can tell you exactly what's going on within your body by looking at your temperature and your heart rate and the changes that I see throughout the day, when you eat a meal, in the morning, so on and so forth, because I've mastered it, right? And I can tell, because if your heart rate and temperature is low, that means you're hypothyroid. That means your thyroid hormone is low. That's why you lack T3 within the body. So I already know you have low testosterone. I don't need a blood test to tell me that. I can tell by just looking at your temperature and your heart rate. If your temperature is under 36.4 degrees or your heart rate is under 80 beats per minute resting, you may have low testosterone. So it's a very simple thing to check. And this diagram is very nice because it tells you a lot. Within the mitochondria, when you consume oxygen, glucose, and T3, the byproduct is energy, carbon dioxide, and water. That's why when you're eating metabolically based foods, you notice you can breathe in deeper. When I worked with athletes, I get them to consume better foods because now they can consume oxygen at a higher rate. Their breath is deeper. When you're in a hypometabolic state, you can be breathing air, but it's not sticking, if that makes sense. But when you're eating metabolically sound, you can breathe in deeper and it feels like you're actually taking in the oxygen. You can run for longer. Your performance better. You feel so much better. There's more oxygen within the body. And the reason behind that is because there's this thing called the Burr and Haldane effect. When you breathe in oxygen, there has to be an exchange. You breathe in oxygen, it exchanges with carbon dioxide. That's why when you breathe out CO2. That's why when people hyperventilate, and back breathing is a good way to prevent that, so you don't get a panic attack and things like that, because you're exhaling too much CO2. So you're taking in oxygen, you exchange carbon dioxide. Then that oxygen is going around the body, and to get into the cell, there has to be an exchange as well. So oxygen, for it to get in, CO2 has to come out. And this is why when you eat better, your cells produce more energy, meaning you have more byproducts of carbon dioxide, meaning you can take in more CO2, meaning you can produce more testosterone. So this is the foundation between testosterone optimization. There's more complexity within this. This is just like a simplified version. There's obviously different cofactors. Like for your cells to produce energy, you need to have all the B vitamins taken care of, things like that. This is just a simplified version, right? Once pregnenolone is produced, once all these things are in place, pregnenolone is then converted into a series of intermediate molecules through various enzymatic reactions, eventually leading to the production of testosterone. So here's an example. Cholesterol, then you produce pregnenolone, and then from pregnenolone, you can produce different hormones. You want it to go to DHEA and then testosterone, right? And this is where it gets interesting. If you have excess body fat, that testosterone is going to be converted into estrogen because you have more aromatase enzyme activity, because that enzyme converts your testosterone into estrogen. That's why I talk about building that androgen dense physique. If you don't have that androgen dense physique and you're trying to boost your testosterone, it's going to be problematic. You're going to have more estrogen production. That's why some guys who have excess body fat and they get on NoFap, they might actually not feel that good because they're getting that huge spike of testosterone, but some of it can get converted into estrogen. You have to be careful with that. Once synthesized, testosterone is released from the Leydig cells into the bloodstream, and it can circulate throughout the body. Testosterone, and then it goes around the body, and now other factors come in. Is your liver healthy? If it's not, you have more SHBG, meaning you have less free testosterone, and free testosterone is what binds into, your androgens within your brain to elicit responses and things like that. So there's a lot of variables in there that you need to pay attention to. So next, testosterone production is also regulated by a negative feedback mechanism, meaning as testosterone levels rise, it can inhibit the release of GnRH, which is the first step, from the hypothalamus, and LH from the pituitary gland, helping to maintain a balance in hormone levels. That's why when guys inject testosterone, their balls shrink, because their body tells them they don't need to produce all those things because they have enough testosterone within the body. So testosterone lowers LH within the body. Ultimately, when you get a blood test, you want low LH and high testosterone. That's a good ratio. And this is why it's so important for you to understand the fundamentals so you don't get deceived by the market. For example, a few weeks back, I made a video about cold therapy. Everybody is doing cold showers, cold therapy, and they are always referencing that one study, which doesn't even say that it boosts testosterone levels. It just says that it boosted luteinizing hormone. The reason behind that is when you're doing something that lowers your testosterone, for the balance back for your body to have homeostasis, it's going to increase LH, so you get your testosterone levels back up. Vice versa, if you boost your testosterone levels, synthetically, your LH is going to decrease. Hence why foundation is the fundamental. It's worth mentioning that testosterone production is not limited to the testes. So 95% is produced in the testicles. Other is in the adrenal glands, at the top of the adrenal glands. And then the concentration of testosterone is located in things like your heart, your brain, because testosterone is very protective. So the adrenal glands are located at the top of the kidneys. However, the majority of testosterone production occurs in the testicles. Hopefully I didn't go too fast, but I wish someone told me these steps when I started, because I wouldn't be deceived into thinking that I need to do this tactic. I need to take all these supplements. I used to be spending 300-400 quid on supplements a month because I thought I needed to. Now I barely spend any. Sometimes I don't even spend any money on supplements, because once you understand the fundamentals between nutrition, training, lifestyle, and supplementation, it becomes simple and easy. So that being said, hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you give it a like. It's going to share on the algorithm. That being said, if you have any questions, drop them down below. God bless. Peace.